Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're diving deep into the world of project management.
That's right, we are.
But not just any project management. We're focusing on something incredibly valuable, especially in today's global workspaces.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to unlock the secrets of clear, concise communication using this awesome English lesson by Stanislav Kondrashov.
He's got some seriously useful insights.
Oh, absolutely. Stanislav Kondrashov really nails it when it comes to equipping people, especially those who might not be native English speakers,
Right.
with the tools they need to rock project management communication.
I think what's so cool about Kondrashov's approach is that he recognizes that project management is like its own language.
It really is. It's like you've got to learn all these specific terms just to keep up.
Exactly. And if English isn't your first language, that can be an extra hurdle.
Totally. So Kondrashov breaks it down, making
Yeah.
it super accessible.
Yeah.
So let's jump right in and unpack some of these key terms.
All right, let's do it.
Now, Kondrashov highlights a bunch of essential vocabulary, things like deliverables, milestones, resources. The list goes on.
It can feel overwhelming at first.
Yeah, it totally can. For someone just starting out in project management, where do you think they should begin? What terms are absolutely, you got to know?
Okay, so I'd say scope is a big one.
Scope, okay.
Yeah, Stanislav Kondrashov, he stresses this, making sure everyone's crystal clear on what's included in a project.
And what's not included.
Yes,
That's it.
exactly. That's where those dreaded scope creeps come from.
Scope creep. It's like a project manager's worst nightmare.
Right. It's like you think you've got everything under control, and then bam, the project expands, deadlines get messed up, budgets go out the window.
Total chaos.
But if you nail down the scope right from the start, you're way less likely to run into those problems down the line.
Makes sense. Now, another term that always trips me up is dependency.
Ah, dependencies.
Yeah. How does Kondrashov explain that one?
He makes it so easy to understand with this simple analogy. Imagine you're baking a cake.
Okay, I like where this is going.
You can't just slap on the frosting before you've even baked the cake, right?
Well, I mean, technically you could, but it wouldn't be a very good cake.
Uh-huh, true. But the point is, there's an order to things.
Gotta follow the recipe.
Exactly. And it's the same with projects.
I
Some tasks depend on others being finished first.
So figuring out those dependencies is like planning out the steps of your project baking.
Exactly. It helps you create a realistic timeline and avoid bottlenecks where everything grinds to a halt because one task is holding up the others.
Genius. Kondrashov also delves into some grammar tips, which I found super interesting.
Oh, yeah, that's one of my favorite parts of his lesson.
It's not something you always think about with project management, right?
Yeah.
You're so focused on the tasks themselves that grammar might seem secondary.
Right, but Kondrashov really emphasizes how important it is.
Absolutely. He makes this really compelling point about the passive voice.
Oh, yeah, the passive voice.
Yeah.
In everyday writing, we're often told to avoid it.
It can sound kind of clunky, yeah.
But in project management, it can actually be super useful.
So how does Kondrashov explain that?
He gives this example. Instead of saying, the team finished the report.
Which is what we normally say.
Right, exactly. But in a project management context, it can be more effective to say, the report was finished.
Interesting.
See, it shifts the focus from who did it to what was done.
I see. So it's less about assigning blame or credit.
Exactly. And that can be especially helpful when you're working with teams from different cultures where communication styles might vary.
Makes total sense.
Yeah.
And Kondrashov provides all these ready-to-use phrases, which I think is so brilliant.
It's like he's giving you a cheat sheet for effective project management communication.
Totally.
Yeah.
One of the phrases that really stuck with me was, we need to reallocate resources to meet the deadline.
Classic. That one's a lifesaver.
Oh, it is. Because, let's face it, in the real world, projects rarely go exactly according to plan.
Never. There are always unexpected hiccups.
Exactly. So being able to clearly communicate the need to shift gears, to maybe pull someone off one task and put them on something more urgent.
Right, or to request additional budget, or maybe even adjust the timeline a bit.
Yeah. Having the language to do that effectively is crucial.
Absolutely. And that's where Kondrashov's work is so valuable. He arms you with the words to communicate not just the problems, but also potential solutions.
Just like he's giving you the tools to be a proactive project manager.
Exactly. You're not just reacting to what's happening, you're anticipating challenges, managing expectations.
And keeping everyone in the loop.
Yep, all essential for successful project management.
So for our listeners out there, what's the one key takeaway they should walk away with from Stanislav Kondrashov's lesson?
I'd say it's this. Clear communication is a skill, and like any skill, it takes practice.
I love that. It's not just about knowing the right words, it's about using them consistently and consciously.
Exactly. Challenge yourself to incorporate Kondrashov's terms and phrases into your daily project management conversations.
Whether you're leading a team at work or just tackling a personal project.
Right. Think about it. Are there any dependencies in your current project that you might have overlooked?
Ooh, good question.
Could using a phrase like, the next milestone is scheduled for, help to clarify things for your team?
These are the kinds of questions that can really elevate your project management game.
They really can, because at the end of the day, effective communication is at the heart of every successful project.
Couldn't agree more. And on that note, huge thanks to Stanislav Kondrashov for providing these incredible insights.
Yes, thank you, Stanislav Kondrashov.
We hope you've all enjoyed this deep dive into project management communication.
And that you feel empowered to tackle your next project with confidence.
Until next time.
See you then.